My hair has been getting so long. I think it's about time I took a new headshot. So in this video, I'll be giving you 5 tips to take better self-portraits. Let's go. So tip number 1, I have to get this one out of the way first. It's the most obvious, is to get yourself a tripod. I know, it's boring, it's simple and stupid, but a tripod will save you so much time if you're taking a self-portrait or just taking photos in general. Of course, you can get away with stacking books and balancing your phone or camera on there. In the best case scenario, it just takes longer and you can get a okay photo, but worst case scenario, your phone or camera might fall off and break. So that's why I have a simple tripod, and you can get a smaller one if you're using your phone, or you can get a little clip for your phone. You can attach it to a normal tripod. So that's tip number 1. Set up your camera on a tripod. Tip number 2 for better self-portraits is to find better lighting. Notice how I say find, you don't have to buy lights. Even though I'll be using this Godox SL60W light, you don't need to buy nice fancy lights to get a good self-portrait. You can find natural light using a window or just going outside to get nice light for your self-portraits. Now, if you're using natural light, you want to find times of day where the light is softer. This could be at sunrise or sunset or on a cloudy day, just so you don't have those harsh shadows with direct sunlight. It'll take a little bit longer and it could be more tedious, but if you don't want to buy lights, natural light is always a good option. Tip number 3 is to find yourself a nice background. It doesn't need to be an expensive studio. You could go outside and find a nice background, or you can do something in your house. You just want to have a background that's not super distracting. That way your headshot comes out really nice. Tip number 4, I'm going to show you how to actually take the self-portrait. Since you're going to have no one with you, actually hitting the shutter on the camera or your phone is going to be very difficult. So if you're using a camera and you have one of those remote shutters, you can use that. I'll be using a remote shutter app on my phone. This connects directly to my camera, so I can control my camera through my phone. Or if you're using your phone to take pictures, you could connect your headphones to them like this. You can just plug them into your phone and then open up the camera app. And then you can use the little remote on the headphones to take pictures. Now, if your camera doesn't have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, an app to connect to it, if you don't have a remote shutter for your camera, and if your phone doesn't have headphones that can set off the shutter, you can use a self-timer to take the picture instead. You set it at 3 seconds and then run back into frame and take the picture that way. It's definitely more tedious and it'd be better if you had a remote trigger. And then tip number 5 is your composition and sort of your lens choice for your self-portrait. With me, I have the 28-75 lens by Tamron. This is what I'll be using to take my self-portrait. But if you're shooting on a phone, it's important to keep your phone at a distance, just so you don't have warping from your phone camera being too close to you. This is a really common mistake, especially when you take pictures of yourself. You have the phone camera right next to your face and it distorts your face. Now, if you're on a phone with multiple lenses, you want to pick a telephoto lens. This will really give you a more flattering look and can help reduce distortion because the phone's further away from you when you take the picture. And if you have a phone like mine and you only have one lens, you just set the camera back further and zoom in. This can give you a similar look, but just at a lower resolution. All right, those are my 5 tips. I'm gonna put them all in place when I go set up my self-portrait, and I'll show you how it turns out. So this is where I'm gonna set up for my self-portrait. I have to move my desk out of the way, but I want to use these foam panels that I set up as a nice backdrop. I think these could be really nice. You keep it very simple. I don't have to set up a light overhead. Alright, that's just about what I was thinking about. There you go. Alright, this is obviously the wrong lens. This is still my vlog lens. I have to switch that, put this on a tripod, but I think this will turn out pretty good. Alright, let's switch. Alright, looking much better already, right? So this is a 28-75 at 50 millimeters, f2.8. I think it just makes the face look more flattering. This is a lot closer to what the human eye sees. This is at 50 millimeters. Now I've zoomed in to 70 millimeters. I think my room is a little bit too cramped to fit a 70 millimeter lens on my camera, but it still looks pretty good. I'm gonna switch back to 50 for these pictures. Hey, thanks for making it to the end. I hope these tips helped you out and improve your self-portraits. Links for music and other stuff will be in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one.